When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. When you want to get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are back here tonight for the Dutch Grand Prix here. We are here for, I think it's, what round is it? I can't remember now. Anyway, we're lights on ahead of the grid. We're about to go racing here at Zandvoort. And it is lights out and away we go. And looks like a good start there from Bad Boy on the front row. Gets a little run here to the inside of centre as they come down towards turn one. Bad Boy down the inside, centre holds it around the outside, keeps on to the lead for the time being. But Bad Boy's got a good run there coming out of turn two. And I'll tell you what, they're side by side here. Bad Boy's got the inside line and might have made this move here. Centre's still trying to hold himself there as they come through the bank corner, and Bad Boy gets a horrible run. Oh, he's got into the wall there as well as Bad Boy. He's down to the back. He's got damage and he's retired from the race. So Bad Boy out of the race there. Was there contact between the two? Not quite sure. But Senna leading ahead of Cameron with Justin in third place, followed by V10 Ultra. Then you got WTF Freak followed by Random with Nathan, Enmorph, Rock and Freddy completing the top 10. Then you got Drauger ahead of Justify, followed by Anime Boy, Oliver. Zombie Razor in 15th ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, followed by Isis Gabba. And Bad Boy running at the back. Well, actually, no, he's retired from the race, so he's not running anymore. But we've got a virtual safety car here on this opening lap at Zandvoort. And what a shame for Bad Boy. Obviously, promising start. Well, I mean, promising qualifying. Obviously, qualifying on the front row. Looked like he had got the move done there on Senna coming out of turn two. But Senna kept himself close. And they were side by side going into the bank left-hander. And Bad Boy, unfortunately, getting wide into the wall. And out of the race he went. So strange incident there between those two, but Senna's still leading the race as the virtual safety car's now subsided, and we're back underway in earnest here as they come out of the final corner. And here is Senna still leading the race. You've got Cameron here trying to tuck into that slipstream. He's trying to defend from a load of cars behind him as well here, who are all in a bit of a snake here as they come down the start-finish straight down towards turn one. No moves for position there, but Justify's actually got ahead of Trauger up into P11. Zombie Razor's moved ahead of Oliver as well up into P14. Isis Gabba there getting ahead of Andrew Pittsmith up into P16. But Senna's still leading the race at the moment ahead of Cameron. These two currently running nose to tail at the moment. And Cameron really keeping the pressure on. Obviously joined back to the league a couple of weeks ago. Raced last season, took a sprint race win, I remember, at Qatar. That was a bit of a standout moment for him in that season. He's looking all over the back here of Senna, trying to force an opening at the moment, but can't seem to do it just at this point. Still looking to try and force a possible opportunity here as V10 Ultra and Justin side by side here, and Justin trying to hold himself on the inside there, gets the move done, but V10 Ultra getting a nice run here coming out of that section. DRS open as well. No, not this time, obviously lap 2 only, so V10 Ultra gets it done on Grunt alone there up into third place as we see a bit of contact there between Random and Nathan, and Random's lost it there. Random's into the wall, so he's dropping down the order like a stone there, and it's now down to practically the back of the pack. In fact, it is the back of the pack there for Random, so he's now another casualty here in the early laps of this race. But Cameron leading the race here ahead of Senna. So Cameron's made the move on Senna coming to the final sector here. Rock's also got ahead of Enmorph as well up into 7th place, although Enmorph getting the run down the start finish straight. Look to the outside now. They're on the back of Nathan as well as Enmorph trying to hold it around the outside there of Rock. Rock on the inside there for turn 2. Makes the move and Freddy follows him through there. So Enmorph losing 2 places there in the space of a corner. And Cameron's still out the front, leading the race, having got the move done on Senna on that previous lap there. So the championship leader, the runaway championship leader, now running in P2 here in this race. His teammate Justin is in 4th place, obviously his closest contender in that championship battle. The two Ferraris are absolutely heads and shoulders above everybody else here this season, leading that Constructors' Championship by a mile. It's Justin there getting overtaken by WTF Freak there. So WTF Freak making a nice move up to 4th place. Beautifully done there from him. As Nathan there losing out to Rock and Freddy. So Rock there up into P6, Freddy up into 7th, and Nathan dropping down a couple of places here. Enmorph and Justify right behind these at the moment as Zombie Razor has moved ahead of Isis Gabba there up into 13th place. Justin's got back ahead of WTF Freak up into 4th, but these two continuing to battle it out there as Justin managing to get just ahead of him there as they come into the penultimate corner. Also Oliver has got ahead of Zombie Razor up into 14th place. That's another move for position there. And V10 Ultra looking very racy here on the back of Senna. I'll tell you what, Senna's dropping backwards here in this race. As he looks around the outside there into turn 2, he's going to try and keep himself there for 3. He'll be on the inside for this next corner. And V10 Ultra, is he going to complete that move there? Senna's trying to keep himself there. V10 Ultra does complete the move there up into 2nd place. So beautifully forecast move there from him. Managed to keep the outside around turn 2 and was in the right place at the right time there. But obviously the tyres are going to play a big factor here because Cameron and V10 Ultra both on the medium tyres and Senna on the hard. Saying that, Senna's not giving up here in this battle with V10 Ultra either. But V10 holding ahead of him for the time being. But the crucial thing here is that it is starting to rain a little bit. You can see just drops of rain falling. Obviously nothing really too severe at the moment. There's not going to be a requirement for a change of tyres at this point. But you would think that if the rain continues to fall and the intensity picks up a little bit, then maybe Senna's strategy might be nullified a little bit here, because starting on the hard tyres, you're kind of putting all your eggs into going long and trying to outfox your opponents by being on the faster tyres at the end. But obviously, if we require a change to intermediate tyres, then his strategy is going to be completely dead in the water. So it's basically a case of it's a bit of a roll of the dice, isn't it? But can he keep himself going on these dry tyres? Here we go then, as he comes down towards turn 1. Looking to the outside here is Senna. He's going to try and go around the outside here of V10 Ultra, but V10 Ultra holds that inside line for now. And these two continue to drop off at the back of Cameron consistently over the course of the last few laps. Freddie's moved ahead of Rock up into P5. Justin's also got ahead of Oliver up into 12th, although Oliver getting a beautiful cutback there, coming out of turn 2 and managing to sucker him there. Excellent move there here from Oliver. Cameron's still out in front as Senna's attacking on the back of V10 Ultra. Down the inside he goes. Is that job done there for him? They're side by side here as V10 Ultra's trying to hold himself around the outside, but Senna's trying to squeeze him out there. Senna does get the move back on him there, so Senna is continuing to hold firm here despite being on the slower tyres in his first stint. He's certainly not giving up here, as V10 Ultra there just behind ahead of WTF Freak at the moment, but Cameron is well out the front here. 3 seconds he's got of a gap here over Senna at the moment, and there is the other two battling right behind Senna at this point. You've got a big gap back to Freddie running in P5, followed by Ruck. Enmorph there ahead of Justify with Anime Boy, Drauga, and Isis Gava completing that train of cars. You've got Oliver and Justin way down the order here in 13th place. I'm not quite sure what's happened to him here. He's clearly run into troubles here in the opening couple of laps. Obviously, the Ferrari man, the teammate of the championship leader, the Constructors Championship leaders by some way as well. And he's going to have DRS here on Oliver, but he's got Andrew Pittsmith very close on the back of him here, as V10 Ultra has moved ahead of Senna as well up into second place again. So these two continue to swap places. Anime Boy's also moved ahead of Trauger up into P9 as he gets around the outside of turn 2. So lots of position changes going on, lots of action here at Zandvoort in the early laps of the Dutch Grand Prix here tonight. We've got Nathan out of the race now, and we've got a safety car as well. So safety car is deployed here on lap 6. And that's going to now spice up the strategies a little bit here, because there's going to be a lot of drivers coming into the pits trying to take advantage of that opportunity to make a pit stop without too much time loss. So it's going to be interesting to see who rolls that dice, who pulls that trigger, and who ultimately capitalizes and benefits. Who's going to maybe switch to the intermediate tyres with the rain continuing to fall a little bit. It's certainly not time for inters yet, but the possibility of it being time for inters by the time the safety car ends is still quite slim, admittedly, but for the drivers with nothing to lose, could be worth a punt, couldn't it? Who knows? But yeah, safety car deployed here at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix here, and yeah, long way to go.
On its scheduled debut in 2020, it was reported that over 1 million fans Then, colour has become a symbol of national pride and is featured on every national sports team livery. garage? Some say that's legendary mechanic Curly Wainwright. And he's featured on every national sports team livery. After years of speculation, the return of the Dutch Grand Prix finally confirmed May 2019.
Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, coming into turn one. Looks like we've got some very, very tricky conditions now. The rain seems to have come down quite a bit here. So we got V10 Ultra out in front on the medium tyres still. I think the dry tyres might still be okay at the moment, but if the rain continues to fall like it is, then this could spell big trouble here for the dry runners. But Anna Boys crashed out of the race on the dry tyres there, so that's our first casualty on the dry tyres. Maybe now they're starting to be in a bit of a zone where they're not working. We've got another safety car here, so that's going to mean that the dry runners can come into pit. But obviously with the train of cars all on the back of the leaders now, it's going to mean that they're going to drop down to the back here. So V10 Ultra, WTF Freak, Freddy and Justify are really going to suffer for staying out on the dries unless they really roll the dice and decide to stay out on the dries during this safety car and hope that the rain subsides or the track dries out a bit during the safety car. But it's not going to dry out too much because obviously they're not really going at full pelt. They're not really going at any sort of pelt at this point, so it's going to be not really much tread in terms of the water being pushed to the side. So yeah, it's going to be really tricky now. So it seems like Zombie Razor, Ruck, Random, Justin and Edmorph have all stuck the intermediate tyres on. So that's now the whole pack on the intermediate tyres. Obviously there was those few who gambled on the dries to stay out, but has not paid off at all. The rain has really started to fall now, so we're seeing full wet conditions here. And a bit more rain and we'll be seeing the actual wet tyres coming out. So it's going to be, I think, a case of when they're going to make that change or if they're going to make it. Be interesting to see who makes that first call. Who'll be setting that timing border light with purple sectors that will tell everybody, hey, get yourselves in, get a fresh set of wet tyres on. Now's the time. That was a hiccup, to apologise for that. There we go then, confirmation, the safety car will be in this lap, so that's going to now release them out to have a crack at these tricky conditions here. We've got Cameron leading the race ahead of Senna, so it's almost like normal service resumed really from the first couple of laps before we had the sort of first real downpour. Took a little while for it to really set in, the rain, but it appears that we're now very much with this for the long haul, you would think. As here we come then into the final couple of quarters here. About to get out of the way once again here at Zandvoort for this Dutch Grand Prix. So it's going to be Cameron leading SRA with Senna on the back of him. Trauger and Oliver there right behind him with Andrew Pittsmith and V10 Ultra, followed by WTF Freak and Justify. Freddie there in 9th ahead of Ruck with Random, Justin in 12th, Enmorph in 13th and Zombie Razor in 14th place. Here we go then, we're racing, we're back underway once again as Senna ducking out that slipstream there, trying to get a clear view of turn 1 as we see side by side here between Oliver and Andrew Pittsmith here. Andrew Pittsmith trying to hold it around the outside. He's now got V10 Ultra attacking on the back of him as well, and V10 Ultra might have made this move here on Andrew Pittsmith. He has made that move up into P5. That's dropped on there for V10 Ultra as we look down the pack. You've got the Alpha Tauri there of Random all over the back of Rock as they come through the bank to left-hander, but he can't make the move at the moment, and it's still as you were there between those two, but it's Cameron leading out the front. Senna almost a second behind Cameron already here, so Cameron really enjoying these wet conditions at the moment. You've got Oliver pretty close on the back of Trauger as well, as V10 Ultra attacking on the back around Oliver. He's made the move there as V10 Ultra around the outside. He's got back ahead of him there, Oliver, whereas having a bit of a dice with him, but Andrew Pittsmith there making a move on Oliver. Oliver now back ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. You've got Trauger there making the move on V10 Ultra as well. V10 Ultra dropping down the order here. He's getting in a bit of trouble. Oh, and there's a car in the wall. That's Justify there, who's out of the race, and we've got another VSC deployed here. Trauger the big winner in all of that. V10 Ultra making it through relatively unscathed. Still got his front wing, still got all the car intact at the moment, but virtual safety car out, and that was a bit of a cluster there of cars, all in a short space. A bit like on the motorway when you see a load of cars just all sort of like grinding to a halt because the motorways are too congested. It's basically congestion. It's like watching congestion on the motorway. That's what it was like, seeing all of those cars packed into a short space there. But Cameron nonetheless still leading the race out of Senna with WTF Freak in 3rd and Trauger 4th. As we see them all coming out of the final corner there. There's V10 Ultra in P5, followed by Ruck, Andrew Pittsmith, Random, Freddie and Justin completing the top 10. Enmorph, Zombie Razor and Oliver still going in 13th place as Zombie Razor's coming into the pits here at the end of lap 12. Still under VSC at the moment. That should hopefully subside in a minute. And we should hopefully get back underway in a second. Just confirmation there, Zombie Rays has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. So Cameron got a gap about a second over Senna at the moment, looking very comfortable out the front. V10 Ultra's made it move on about, drag it up into P4 as they go into the penultimate corner. So V10 Ultra now up in position. Now Rock attacking on the back of Drago as well, trying to knock him while he's down here as they come out of the final corner. As Cameron's into the pits, so is WTF Freak. So maybe some wet tyres going on those cars. So now we're seeing a bit of a split of strategy. That's going to now be a bit of a gamble here, because are they going to lose out coming into the pits, or are drivers like Senna, Ruck and Andrew now going to suffer doing an extra lap? Oh, as Enmorph's out of the race, he's crashed out. That could give a huge advantage to those who have not pitted yet if there's a safety car, but I think that we might be okay. I think we might be just doing it under caution here, but Senna leading the race ahead of Ruck and Andrew in third. These three still yet to pit for wet tyres. Are they going to stay out long term and try and weather the storm, literally? Or are they going to come in at the end of, at the end of this lap or the next lap, soonish? Are they going to try and stick it out and hope that the track dries up a little bit here? Senna still out the front, still seemingly in control of what he's doing at the moment. Seems like he's enjoying himself out there at this point. But are we going to see those times tumbling down to the likes of V10 Ultra running in 4th place and co. 23 seconds currently the gap between Senna and V10 Ultra at the moment. We're going to keep a close eye on this as it develops. Senna coming through on the penultimate corner. Gap still 23 seconds at this point. Senna coming around the final corner, about to complete lap 14 of the race. Is he going to come into the pits? He is going to come into the pits. So Senna boxing here now. The gap's been pretty consistent over the course of that lap. It's come down maybe a little bit, but that's because Senna's come into the pits. But obviously if it's staying the same now and the rain's continuing to fall, then that is only going to get worse for the Inters and only better for the wets. So probably a wise decision for Senna to come in now before it becomes a problem. So he's going to come out and he's going to probably retain the lead, I would have thought. And indeed, yes, he does. So it was a case of do it now or come out behind, basically, for Senna there. He needed to pit there, or he would have come out behind V10 Ultra. V10 Ultra coming out just behind him there. So Senna only just staying in the lead of the race there. I'll tell you what, that was the case of, well, basically, that was do or die for Senna there. So Senna still in the net lead. Obviously, Andrew Pittsmith now the new race leader, but he will have to pit because those intermediate tyres are not going to be hanging on much longer here. Freddie's made a move on WTF Freak up into P7. But we'll see Andrew coming into the pits at the end of this lap anyway. He's currently 9 seconds ahead of Senna. So I think that it's going to be a battle between Senna and V10 Ultra for the win here by the looks of it. These two currently running within half a second of each other at the moment. But V10 Ultra is going to push him all the way here. Obviously, we've seen V10 Ultra running high in the Purple Sector Formula 1 League on a Tuesday and Thursday night. We see Rock there getting ahead of Drauger as well. Random also following him through. So Rock and Random up position each. Drauger down to P6 there in that one. Andrew Pittsmith into the pits here at the end of lap 15. Senna and V10 Ultra coming over the line. The two leaders battling it out still. Andrew into the pits, into the box. He's lost a lot of time there by staying out that extra lap on the Inters. It definitely wasn't the tyre to be on for the last lap. And Andrew's going to come out in P7 by the looks of it. Well ahead of WTF Freak, but considerably behind Freddie running in P6. Here coming two leaders once again coming out of the final corner. We've got lap 16 of this Dutch Grand Prix. We're still just under halfway through the race at the moment. And at this point, it's looking like it's definitely going to be between these two for the win. Freddie's made a move here on Drauger up into P5 down the start-finish straight. So he's now picked him off. But Drauger looking to try and come back at him here into turn one, but he's not going to be able to from there. Freddie obviously driving in his last race for the foreseeable at the moment due to some ongoing... I believe it's medical issues, which obviously we hope to see Freddie back on the track as soon as possible. Obviously, he's a regular here this season in Motive and in Purple Sector, and hopefully he'll be jumping on the comms with me actually, because now I'm commentating on the PlayStation again in party chat. So actually, Freddie, if I haven't reached out to you already and you're watching this, drop me a DM on Discord, because it's probably just me being a div or me just having a goldfish memory. But if you want to do the comms, if you fancy having a bit of a chinwag on the Motive Racing channel, obviously not live, but you know, we broadcast the races after we've recorded them. So yeah, definitely be good to have your insight in the box, because obviously Freddie knows the drivers out on track very well. So it'd be good to have him alongside. Seems like Senna at this point has a bit more confidence in these wet conditions than what V10 Ultra does. He is appearing to pull away a little bit here, so 1.4 currently the gap. It was about a second a lap or so ago, so Senna now finding confidence here, obviously finding that dry line a little bit, maybe saying that. Maybe not the dry line, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, because finding a dry line in these conditions and you're probably going to be overheating those tyres and spinning off into the barriers. Random in the meantime has moved ahead of Ruck up into third place. Freddie's now really closing in on these. You can see him bringing himself into this battle for the podium places. Potentially Freddie looking at the top three here in this race, obviously on the right tyres. And who knows if these guys can go to the end of the race from here, because they put them on 4 or 5 laps ago, so 21, 22 laps. Probably need another pit stop. Also factoring in weather could also change as well, so you just don't know. But Freddie definitely has got a bit more pace than these two in front of him, and he's making a move here on Rock around the outside into the stadium section. Freddie up into 4th place with a beautiful move there, and he's up into 4th place. Now he can try and chase down Random running in 3rd just in front of him. You can see that podium now is well within sight, so Freddie continuing to charge towards the front here. Just over 10 seconds off of the lead at the moment, currently 8 seconds off of P2, but a podium certainly within his grasp at the moment as Andrew Pittsmith has moved ahead of Trauger up into P6 as they come into the penultimate corner here on lap 20. Senna's still extending that gap bit by bit here to V10 Ultra, currently 2.5 seconds. So looks like Senna's definitely got the momentum at the moment. Just continuing to pump in the laps and not make any mistakes. Our championship leader, we expect no less from him this season. He really has been absolutely superb over the course of this Formula 1 season here at Motive Racing. For Season 7 here on the PlayStation platform. Hasn't really put a foot wrong all season. I mean, I say really because there have been moments, but everyone has their moments. We're all human. Unless you're a bot. But, I mean... Anyway. So Senna currently just over 4 seconds now, the gap over V10 Ultra. So, yeah, he's still continuing to pump in that consistency. Freddie, I tell you what, he's very close on Random now. Only half a second between him as they come into turn 1. And he'll be looking to try and make this move as quickly as he can here. He's actually closing in. I'll tell you what here. Freddie's actually closing in on V10 Ultra as well. He's only 6 seconds behind V10 Ultra. V10 Ultra now starting to struggle a little bit here in second place, dropping off at the back of Senna at quite an alarming rate. So maybe Freddie could be looking forwards not just ahead of Random, but potentially V10 Ultra as well. In fact, both of these two could end up on the podium if they continue to close in here on V10 Ultra. So it's definitely a potential for both of these two to get themselves on the rostrum here at the end of this race, alongside this man here, who seemingly at this point, I don't want to tempt fate, I don't want to curse him, but it's looking very unlikely that he's not going to win. He is just skating off into the distance at this point, seemingly understands these conditions very well. Obviously, driving in his home race as well is Senna. He's half Dutch and half Polish, and I think he races out of the Netherlands. I believe he lives in Holland. Not 100% on that, but I believe he does. I could be wrong, but he races under the Dutch flag, so I'd assume that he lives in Netherlands. It's not a zombie race. It's got a 5-second penalty here for speeding in the pit lane. So that's he now becomes the actually the first driver. Oh no, V10 Ultra's got one now as well. Wow, okay. Both of them picked up a penalty. Oh, V10 Ultra's put the intermediates on. That's a bit of a gamble. Well, we are actually seeing a few drivers do this. Oliver has done it. The WTF Freak did it 4 laps ago as well. Maybe WTF Freak is reporting positive signs, and that's now prompted the others to follow suit and do the same thing. But Drauger into the pits puts the intermediate tyres on as well here, so maybe the Inters are now the tyre of choice here. It could be that they are now the way to go. Beaton Ultra sending one up the inside there of Andrew, and Andrew's trying to keep it around the outside there. Oh, he's going to make the move here into the penultimate corner as Beaton Ultra. Andrew pits mid there in the end, I think, kind of just let that one happen. Beaton Ultra on his intermediate tyres, really showing he's got the pace now. It's certainly the tyre to be on. Senna and Freddie now coming into the pits as well. So is Ruck. Random stayed out for another lap here. But now it's going to be crucial here to see how the race pans out. So Senna's going to come out at the pits in second place. Hello. He's just come out in second place. So he is now 7 seconds behind Random, who is obviously still the race leader, but still yet to pit because continuing to lessen down more and more. It's now definitely time to put those intermediate tyres on. So I think it's a case of when Random boxes here, it's going to have to be this lap or the next. Probably this lap. The Inter runners now starting to gain little bits of time here on the wet runners. So Random, Andrew and Zombie Razor put his wets on a lap ago. That's certainly not the way to go, Zombie Razor. If you're going to... Thank you very much.
So, do you need to leave it in the kitchen? Or?
Yeah, got it. But that's a pie there. A pie that's ready for me at the end of the race. We've got Senna currently just over 5 seconds behind Random. He's closing in the gap. I mean, he's on the intermediate tyres there, so he's definitely going to be on the back of him soon, unless Random comes in which case he won't be on the back of him. He'll be well ahead of him. So Random coming into the pits here at the end of lap 23. That now releases Senna, who was the net race leader, into the actual race lead. So Beaton Ultra comes out here. Well, he's already in second place before, obviously, in that second. Random now comes out. He's going to be in fourth place, I think. Yep, fourth place there for Random. Andrew Pittsmith now out of his box and on his way to the end of the pit lane again. So Andrew's going to come out in P6. In fact, no. Oh, it's going to be closer with Drauger. No, Andrew comes out in 7th behind Drauger. And Senna still leads ahead of Beaton Ultra by just over 2 seconds at the moment. Freddie there still running in the final podium place. It's looking like that's going to be Freddie's here for tonight. We've got a VSC here at the moment. Oh, and I can see why, because there's a McLaren, which is loitering in the middle of the track. And very, very considerately there avoids the braking markers there. Zombie Razor just struggling to move aside, but getting out of the way here. He's now got Random there right behind him. So Random will be hoping not to be too impeded here by the lapped car. Five-second penalty there for Zombie Razor, just confirmed there on the screen for speeding. No, is it speeding in the pits? Not quite sure. Anyway, tyres go on the car, should be away in a second. Looked like a bit longer than 5 seconds there for Zombie Razor, but away he goes. Senna's still out the front. Gap staying around the same, maybe coming down a little bit actually to Beaton Ultra. So on the wet tyres it was Senna who had the advantage. Now maybe on the inters, Beaton Ultra's starting to feel a little bit more confident here. But he seems to be going quite well at the moment. In case anybody's wondering what that noise is, that is my curtains, my remote control curtains. They are absolutely wonderful. Must admit, it's very nice when you're lying in bed. Although I haven't. Well, it's very nice when you open them when you're lying in bed. You just sort of laid there, and it's quite dark, but you know the sun's out, and it's like it's no greater pleasure than just picking up the remote, pressing a button, and the curtains just come up. It's absolutely wonderful. And yeah, obviously they're quite expensive, but yeah, very nice nonetheless. But yeah, the race is starting to peter out a little bit here. Not really too much going on at this point. And Senna still has got that lead over V10 Ultra at this point. He's got just over 2 seconds. So yeah, the gap was ebbing and flowing. It was coming down a little bit. A couple of laps ago, it's now started to just increase a little bit. But these two very evenly matched at this point. Still 10 laps left to go. So still plenty of opportunities for V10 Ultra to get himself closer. He has got a penalty though. So that will obviously be added to his race time at the end. Everyone's on pretty much the same strategy now, so there's no point in having the tyre graphic up. I think this is going to be the big teller here. V10 Ultra's got a 5-second penalty. So not only would he have to catch up and overtake Senna, but he'd also have to pull out a 5-second gap to him. So I think the V10 Ultra's only hope now is that Senna catches a puddle and sticks it in the fence, because if he doesn't do that, then it's going to be Senna taking yet another win here this season. His teammate crashing out of the race, so he's kind of had to do it the hard way here. He's had to do it all by himself. He's had to carry the hopes of the Tifosi on his own here tonight in Zandvoort.
The revolution that created the independent Netherlands. Since then, the colour has become a symbol of national pride. It's featured on every national sports team livery. The Netherlands produced everyone pride. It's the only one to have won a race. Prix of Siam won the first Dutch race here at Zandvoort in 1940.
Here we go, then Andrew Pittsmith looking to the inside here on Drauga into turn 1. He makes that move there beautifully there to Andrew Pittsmith. So that's now P6 there for Andrew. And has a routine move there into turn 1. Didn't really waste much time there, just went and made it happen, didn't he? Excellent stuff there from him. Gap continuing to go up between Senna and V10 Ultra right now. 3 seconds is now the gap between those two. Freddie is being reeled in a little bit here by Random. These two running 3rd and 4th. This is obviously the fight for the podium places here. So fair bit at stake. 3 championship points between 3rd and 4th. But a lot of pride for being on that champagne rostrum at the end of the race. Obviously for Freddie, I know that he'd love to get a podium in his last race for a little while. But obviously looking forward to getting Freddie alongside us in the box. Hopefully that will be happening from next week onwards. And then obviously when he's ready to get back onto the rig, then we'll be obviously seeing him back out on track as well. But he's currently doing a good job here in holding off Random for this 3rd spot here tonight. Random definitely closer to Freddie than he has been in the last couple of laps, and you can see now that Mercedes just getting closer and closer there. Always there was a bit of a twitch there from Random, which would have just put him off track a little bit there. A lot of corrections going on right now in these sorts of conditions when you're on the intermediate tyres. Obviously the track's still very wet. Off the racing line, it's probably still more akin to wet tyre conditions, but as long as you stick to that dry line in the middle of the, or rather the, or on the racing line, then you're most likely going to be able to make these intermediate tyres work. But if you stray too far off of that darker line there in the middle, then you're going to be in trouble. But Random there, keeping the slipstream here, coming down towards turn one. Still a little bit too far away at the moment. Freddie just appears to be in control of that third spot at this point, but one little mistake here, and Random's going to be there to pounce. You can be... These guys running not too far off of the leaders, but they're a little bit too far away, I think, to capitalise on V10 Ultra's 5-second penalty. So these two better off just making sure that they keep this squabble amongst themselves. Don't start trying to tear after the likes of V10 Ultra, because he's a little bit too far ahead, I think. And I think that's maybe just a bit of a step too far, but a goal that probably isn't too attainable at this point.
Although Zandvoort was the first reported appearance of the sculpture, similar sculptures have washed up in the UK. Legendary mechanic Curly Wainwright. The Netherlands recently ranked in the top 5 happiest countries in the world. Sure.
Looks like Freddie's starting to pull out that gap a little bit to Random. It's now almost a second here between these two as they come down the start-finish straight. Looks like Random's starting to struggle a little bit to hold on to the back of the Mercedes. Into turn one we go. Although saying that, he's got that straight line speed there as Random. So maybe Random's gone for a bit of a lower downforce setup here than Freddie. Freddie seems to have a bit more confidence in the corners. Random is closing down the straight. But through this section of the track, Freddie maybe with just a little bit more belief in the car and a bit more comfortable out there at this point. I tell you what though, that definitely bucked the trend through there. The Random was way quicker through that section. He's getting closer and closer there to the back of Freddie as they come through the middle sector here at Zandvoort, and he'll be looking to pile that pressure on. Obviously no DRS in these wet conditions, so he's not going to get that rear wing. This section would normally be a DRS zone, but minimising that wheel spin there, Random, and trying to get himself closer to the back of Freddie. Down towards the stadium section we go. Oh, massive slide there from Random as it came into the corner. Really was sort of drifting there going into the first part of the stadium section, and that's given Freddie just a little bit of a little off the hook there. He's now just over a second ahead of Random as they come through the final corner, about to complete lap 33 on to lap 34 or 36. 3 laps left to go here in this Dutch Grand Prix here at Motive Racing, and it's currently still Freddie who's running in third place at the moment. Random though is going to give him everything he's got to try and nab that third spot here from him at the end of the race. We've still got Senna leading the race by 4 seconds ahead of V10 Ultra. V10 Ultra's got 10 seconds to these two, Freddie and Random. He's got a 5-second penalty, but as long as he can keep it on the island for the next 3 laps, he should be home and hosed there for that second spot, even with his penalty. One man to watch out for is Rock, because he's running in P5. He's got a 5-second penalty, and he's only 2.5 seconds ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. So Andrew Pittsmith could be smelling a 5th place finish here as well. But it's been heating up, and then it's been cooling down a little bit. Every time we see Random get a little bit close to Freddie, Freddie then just pulls out a gap a little bit. This was the corner where we saw Random getting a big twitch on the last lap. And then into this next corner, this was where we saw him sideways on the previous lap. Let's see what he's like this time around. Random this time gets it much more nicely, but he's a lot more cautious this time, and that's obviously cost him a bit of time. And the gap just over a second between Freddie and Random at this point, as they come through the final corner once again here. Senna still leading the race by just under 4 seconds at the moment. V10 Ultra still going around in P2 at this point. Gap's just come down a little bit between the top two. V10 Ultra just gaining a bit of time on our championship leader on that last lap, but nothing really consequential at this point. In fact, they're all gaining on Senna, really. Senna maybe just let off the gas a little bit at this point. Maybe he's just starting to coast it home. Knows he hasn't got a push. He's got the race in the bag. Just bringing it home, making sure he gets the points, make sure he gets the win without sticking it in the fence, as Martin Brundle would say. Gap just under a second between Freddie and Random at this point. WTF Freaks made a move on Drauga there up into P7 down the inside, and we made that one stick as well. So lovely move there from WTF Freak. Freddie just over a second ahead of Random at this point as well. So Freddie is just eking out that gap here when it matters, when he really needs to make it happen. He seems to have it in his locker here, does Freddie. Gap coming down a little bit between Senna and V10 Ultra on this lap. Freddie also gaining on Senna. Random lapping about the same pace as Senna at the moment. But Senna's only got, less than a lap to go now, so he's pretty much there in his home Grand Prix here tonight at Motive Racing for the Formula 1 League here on the PlayStation platform. I'm sure he'll be chuffed to bits to bring it home at a track that he probably knows quite well, because I think most drivers know their home track quite well. I myself have done plenty of laps around Silverstone. I feel a lot of confidence around there. Silverstone, Monza, Spa, probably my 3 most confident tracks, I'd say, on this game. Maybe Spain, maybe Catalonia as well. Throw into that sort of equation. Random just a second behind Freddie, but I think Freddie's going to hold on here for 3rd place. Here they come then, in towards they're in the middle sector now, coming towards the final sector, and Freddie has done a really good job here to hold off Random. He's coming under tremendous pressure over the course of this race. Obviously, knows this is going to be his last race for a little while, because he's got some, I believe it's, I know what it is. Essentially, it's some medical things which he's going to take care of for the foreseeable. But it's Senna coming out towards the line to take the win here at Zandvoort. It's going to be V10 Ultra for second, but Freddie here has soaked it all up. He has just weathered the storm here from Random. Random has been pushing him all the way, but Freddie's going to come around the final corner here at Zandvoort to take a 3rd place here in the Dutch Grand Prix. Congratulations to Freddie. Really well done there to him. Freddie P3 ahead of Random 4th, with Ruck over in P5. Looking forward to having you in the commentary box alongside me soon, son. Absolutely brilliant job there from you here tonight. Rock is going to come around the final corner here to take P5 in a second. And he's just slowing it down a little bit here. So that's going to, obviously, Andrew was going to take P5 anyway because of the penalty. So Andrew P5, Rock P6. A ceremonious let through there, obviously, because it was going to happen anyway. WTF Freak P7. Drauga coming over the line to take 8th. And Oliver with the last over the line 9th. Pretty soon. So he's coming into the stadium section now. But yeah, great win from Senna. V10 Ultra second. But Freddie there did a fantastic job keeping Random at bay. And hopefully we'll be able to have Freddie on the comms with me next week. Because he was obviously meant to do the comms at Hungary this season, but we had some technical difficulties. I was trying to use the mic on the PC. Now I've got a new mic which I can use on the PlayStation, so that's going to be the plan from now on. is to commentate on PlayStation Party Chat. So we'll get Freddie in for the next one. But guys, thanks ever so much for watching this back. To those of you, obviously, you're watching this on Sunday night. This was obviously recorded on Friday. This is being broadcast on Sunday as part of Motive Racing's Super Sundays. And stay tuned because we'll be live. That's it, live. Yeah, I know, we still do live streams for the GT3s on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PlayStation 5. I was saying that as at time of speaking right now, potentially we might be delaying that season. I'm going to make a decision actually tonight, later tonight, and I'll confirm that on Discord. So actually, I could be talking waffle there. But nonetheless, thanks ever so much, guys, for watching this back. To the drivers, if you did enjoy, please share it with your friends, family members, and otherwise associates. And we will see you all very, very soon. Join us next week for the next round of the Formula One League. We'll be live at the same time as always, obviously 6:45 for the actual race here, but obviously being broadcast on Sunday around 6 or 7, depends on what else we're streaming, to be honest, or what else we're broadcasting. It depends how it all slots in. But next week, pardon me, we will be racing at Italy, Monza, for the Italian Grand Prix. So looking forward to that. And after that, well, after tonight, we've only got 6 races left in the season. So we're getting towards the business end of the season now. And obviously Senna, with his big lead in the championship, is definitely going to be enjoying life at the moment. He's well clear of Justin in second, and Justin well clear of WTF Freak in third. So the top 2 places, I think, decided. It's going to be quite close between WTF Freak and Matty Pitt. So stay tuned for that. But guys, thanks so much. We'll see you later. Good night.